Hi friends, how's everyone doing on this gorgeous April day? We have been blessed with the most wonderful weather here in Pennsylvania. My in-laws came to visit over the last few days and it was just so wonderful to be able to spend some time outside with them in the garden. And today I want to spend all day outside with you in the garden, mainly over in the hydrangea room. We're really going to whip that garden into shape so I can get it mulched. We're going to be planting some creeping phlox, some white rose lilies, some Acidanthera or Acidanthera. I'm not really sure on the pronunciation there, but I've grown it before and it was such a beautiful flower with a wonderful fragrance. I want to add it into the hydrangea room. And then I received a really beautiful and unexpected package today. I'm sure that so many of you follow Yulia over at Y Garden. I absolutely adore her. I love her passion for native plants. I love her personality and her garden and everything that she shares. And she was so kind to send me some white wood aster from her garden. So I think we'll add that over into the hydrangea annex. But it's been so hot here, a lot of the bulbs have opened. So let's just take a look around the garden first because there's so many gorgeous flowers to see. So over here in Grace's garden, we have British Gamble blooming. And I guess this will kind of serve as our weekly daffodil tour. I'm hoping to do a full Easter garden tour for everyone. But this British Gamble is so beautiful. It blooms fairly early with a beautiful peach in her cup. And I have them scattered all throughout Grace's garden. And let me move us over here. Just this morning, Glory of the Snow opened, and I love the contrast between the blue of Glory of the Snow and then these gorgeous white and peach British Gamble daffodils. I also have some cum laude over in this garden, but I think those have pretty much started to fade. Let me check. It looks like we do have a few cum laude that still look good yet, but I really love this combination of the peach, the buttery yellow, the blue, and of course, Grace herself. And the hydrangea room has started to burst into bloom as well. It looks like Grace has some kind of a nut in her mouth today. But we have these amazing shades of blue hyacinths blooming now. And the smell is just absolutely amazing. So I just want to add in some creeping phlox to this area. I have a little bit of creeping phlox here, but I want to kind of extend it all along the edge. And still blooming is replete, and I want to thank everyone so much for their comments and messages that they sent me. It does seem like this is replete, and at this point here in Zone 6B, Southern Pennsylvania, they've all turned that fabulous peach color. Aren't they gorgeous? And then over here in the corner, we have some snake's head fritillaria. I mainly have the purple variety, a few white ones still to bloom. But these are wonderful and they look so great in spring arrangements. Over here we have a new daffodil for this year called Mount Hood. It looks somewhat similar to British Gamble, but the cup starts out a buttery yellow and then ages to a pure white. And I really love it. We mix these with some purple lily tulips. Hi Grace! And so we'll have these beautiful daffodils first and then the tulips in just a few weeks. And for frame of reference for where we are, here's that stand of Pueblo daffodils in the corner. And let's check out the daffodils over by the Prairie Sun crabapple. I think we have some love call in bloom over there. So here's love call. This was the first split corona that I ever invested in, and it has a beautiful, vibrant orange center. The split corona, or the inner portion of this daffodil, is smaller than some of the other split coronas I've grown. But it's just beautiful, and I think it looks nice with Dutch Master. You can see just as Dutch Master fades, these other ones take its place. But let me show you a new one that I've really fallen in love with. So here it is. This variety is called Yellow Casada, and it almost reminds me of a freshly cracked egg. And you can see the inner petals there are much bigger than Love Call, and I really like that. But this is a great variety. I think I added this into my cart last minute, and I'm so glad I did. So I just have a small section of Silver Smiles over here. It's a small daffodil with a really vibrant, hot yellow center. Really beautiful. And then I do have some species tulips over in one corner of the garden that I can overlay for you. And the daffodils over in the driveway garden are just getting started, but they're repeats. They're Mount Hood, Cum Laude, and we're still waiting on Shearborn, which is a double vibrant yellow. We had that one last year. And I think we might have some late pipits and some other jonquillas that are late to look forward to. So now let's go ahead and get to planting. I want to plant that creeping phlox all along the border of the hydrangea room. We're going to add the lilies into just sections where I don't have any hydrangeas. I want a double white lily there. And then the Acidanthera or Acidanthera, it is part of the gladiolus family, and the leaves look just like gladiolus, but then the bloom is just so magical. It's a beautiful white bloom, and it has this amazing vanilla fragrance. For me, it does not overwinter here in zone 6B. I'm always willing to kind of push the limits on that, but I did lose every single one that I left in the ground 2 years ago. So either I'll dig these up or I'll just consider them an annual, but either way, they're totally worth the investment. So let's get to planting. So this cultivar is called Fort Hill, and it grows 4 to 6 inches tall. It's a really nice ground cover, blooms in a beautiful pinky purple, and 30 to 36 inches wide. But doesn't it just feel so good to be back in the garden, friends? I feel like in a way that a whole weight has been lifted off my shoulders, the weight of winter, I guess you could say, and I'm just so excited to be back out here and just to know that every day there's something waiting for me, something that needs attention, that needs to be planted, needs to be cared for. I love that part of gardening. I love the nurturing and watching the garden come to life from beginning to end. I'm going to take a break from working over in the hydrangea room because Yulia just sent these over from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, so I want to get them in the ground right away. And the more I thought about it, this is such a beautiful, dainty native bloom that I think they will look really good over in Grace's garden, where I have lots of repetition, lots of natural plantings. Of course, I do have hostas and bulbs over there, but it's really just a free-form natural garden. And look at this. I love how she packaged it in damp paper towels, and then she put them in a plastic baggie for me. So we have this clump here. And gardeners are just great like this, aren't they? You know that if you're ever in need of a plant, all you have to do is ask another gardener, and they're always willing to share. Ooh, it looks like we have a lot of great small pieces here. So maybe I'll try to divide this clump a little bit too, so we can really spread it all throughout Grace's garden. This was just so nice of Yulia. Let's put some right in the front of this garden. So every time I walk through this gate, I can think of her generosity. Whoops. Well, it's gonna be wonderful to watch those whitewood asters grow. Now let's go ahead and move back to the hydrangea room and get some more bulbs into this bed before I go ahead and mulch it over. So I wanna go ahead and plant 50 Acidanthera into this bed. I'm just gonna go with that pronunciation, friends. That's the pronunciation that I grew up with, but I have seen some variations on that, so I'm sorry if that's incorrect. But here's the bulb itself, and let's see what the bag says. I can't quite remember. Plant 3 inches deep, 4 inches apart. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I did last time. Grows 24 to 36 inches tall. I can overlay some footage here of it blooming in the front garden a few years ago. For me here in southern PA, where we get a lot of rain, I would say it was definitely 36 inches tall, if not taller than that. A really striking, tall, beautiful stand of just upright, really sword-like foliage in the garden. So I think I'm just going to plant these in 2 large pockets, and hopefully that'll be beautiful. Well, it's a good thing we did this because I found another huge mulberry back here. Now that's what we don't want. All right, friends, we've got everything planted, and I think just in time because it seems like a storm is about to come through. I also did go ahead and I grabbed my half moon edger and edged the hydrangea room. So now that we have all the bulbs that we want in this garden, I think I'm gonna go ahead and mulch it. So I wanna wish you all a wonderful day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. And of course, as always, happy gardening. Bye.